Yeah. So I guess when it comes up like here. Okay, we're live. All right. It is 6 o'clock, everyone. So we will go ahead and get this meeting started. If you can all rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jen, can you please call people?
Josiah, here. Jeremy,
Here.
Samantha, Ruby,
Here.
Ray.
All right, thanks, Jen. And then we will move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? I motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Jen, can you, all right. Is there voting right now? Okay. All right, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move into vote.
Josiah, aye. Ruby,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We will then move into public input. Do we have any public input? Oh,
Skip
do you do
sorry.
We need to put notes that we don't have.
Presentations, there is no SHS leadership presentation tonight. So we will move on to public input. There's no public input? Okay, we will move right along into admin reports. First up, we have Patrick Trader with the Sherman High School.
Good evening. Just an update on the student report. Our leadership teacher, Ms. Holstein, is at a conference this week, a national CTE conference that is paid for by Schmeckner. So that did not, she organized that with the student teacher. So unfortunately, that was not prepared. So for my report, to give you a little bit of an update about our beloved personal electronic device policy. It's from all the reports I'm getting from the teachers and the data we've been able to collect, it's going very, very well. Teachers have seen a significant reduction in arguments and conversations with kids. We're still having to remind students on occasion, but they oh, sorry, my bad. It's not combative. So that's nice. And we only had 12 referrals regarding cell phone use, and that's not really regarding cell phone use. It's the insubordination that follows, not when asked to put it away, they refuse to do so. So the phone policy is in regards to insubordination. So it's going very well, and the staff are really pleased with that. Now, the next phase we have to do is transitioning over to the bell to bell from 7:30 to 3:30 that starts in January. So the admin group here at the district is working on that implementation. We ran some of that while I was doing that. We just ran discipline data in general, and I'm just very pleased with our discipline data. You can see I tracked from the start of the year to December 1 for the last 4 years that I've been here. And you can see that we have a significant reduction in the number of referrals that are being written by teachers. And that also follows with the anecdotal evidence that teachers are like students are much more locked in. And having less insubordinate behavior. Kids are just being nicer to each other and to the staff. So that data reflects that as well. So that's a nice thing to see. For November, we had our Students of the Month. We obviously thematically we went with gratitude, being the month of Thanksgiving. So we wanted to recognize those students who staff notice are the ones who say thank yous and please, hold the door open, just kind of generally very polite and demonstrate how thankful they are to be able to go to school every day. And so our freshman student was Jesse Henderson, our sophomore student was Carter Bacon, our junior was Saeed Hashimi, and our senior was Logan Bergen. So we really appreciate them in the month of November showing their gratitude for Sheridan High School. I don't know if you're able to see it in the newspaper. The News Register ran an article on it back in November on the 20th. Sheridan High School students went with 4 other high schools. I think it was 4 other. There was Minville, Newburgh, Olamina, the Delta School. They attended over at the Evergreen Event Center, which is behind the museum. So when we first got there, the students were kind of disappointed they weren't going to see the air Hornets. And what this was it was a simulation. It was really an in-depth simulation about running a manufacturing business, and they weren't teamed up high schools, so our students were grouped with other students from those other high schools. So at any one table, we only had 2 of our high school students, so they were with anywhere from 6 to 7 other high school students from other high schools. And they were tasked with running a stand-up paddleboard manufacturing company. And this was the first time that this simulation has been run with high school students in the area. It had been not previously run by like business leaders and actual business owners in their team building and decision making. So they were really excited to run with high school students. And it was, our students went in not sure what to expect, and by the end of the day, they were jacked. They were so excited, they had such a blast. And it was a good 6 hours of decision making, collaboration, sitting and talking with each other. And the simulation was very in-depth. We even had like one of the events that happened was there was a public relations nightmare where it was a TikTok video that they had made, actually made an actual video. It was YouTube. A person on the stand-up paddleboard underneath, I think you're underneath the Selwood Bridge on Willamette, and the paddleboard broke in half, snapped in half, and that, of course, was a viral video that damaged the reputation of the company, and students that had to respond accordingly to how they would to hire a communications manager, we had a communication plan to put in place. So it was really fun for them. So really want to thank this Jennifer Lukabon, who was one of our CDE teachers who took the students. I was able to go and watch as well. So, but she did a great job getting those kids there. And it was a good cross section of our students. There were students there who really represented our high school from all backgrounds and experiences, not just our straight A students or our valedictorians. These are students who maybe have never had this experience before. It was really meaningful, but they were the ones who were most excited. So that was great. So it was great to have this news register there and get our students in the paper. Cool. Yeah.
The large part of that is due to our manufacturing group.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a partnership with many organizations.
So, I don't know, helpful for whatever kids involved.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, so that was, we were one of the partners with, you can see that actually it's part, it's connected to the Barbara Roberts CTEC. So, although the building isn't in place yet, programs are running through grants that were awarded as part of that. So, great experience. It was really fun. Want to do more? Actually, now it's a piece of curriculum you can schools will be able to have an opportunity to purchase. Now that they're doing some test runs, it was fun when they were doing it because the guy running the simulation was the owner of the software company that built it. And every once in a while, there's a glitch. He pulled out his cell phone real quick and take a picture of his on the screen and send it to his developers. So like, we got a problem here, you got to fix it. So it was real life that too. So I'm looking forward to getting that to be something that can be part of our business and manufacturing curriculum on an annual basis, so students in the future can experience it. Yeah, and whole curriculum and training for the future as well. So
And it's cool that I brought in the other, I didn't know how to like about localization and that kind of stuff. I mean,
yeah, there was decisions like Fed like today. I mean, the Fed dropped the interest rates, and they had stuff like that. Economic indicators that kids have to be prepared for and respond to accordingly. So
on that note, the November's manufacturing month, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of schools come to our area.
Yeah.
Delphi came through, a bunch of different schools toured, but I haven't seen Cherry.
Yeah.
So is that something that's going to happen?
I hope so. Right now we're working Craig Brockett, is that right? He's working out a limited contract to do some of this work, and he helped organize this, so I can meet with him about that.
Yeah, because there's some people there and they give tours all the time.
Yeah.
They come through the prototype and part.
Cool.
We usually laser out some kind of kid or something for all the kids to watch the laser run and then take stuff home and stuff like that. So we make some interesting cool things.
Well, we'd love to have you at our career fair too in April.
Yeah.
So I'll get Mr. Carter to reach out to you.
Yeah.
See you organize that. It's cool.
Very cool. Any other questions or comments on that?
I have two actually.
Yeah.
Going back to discipline and cell phone policies for referrals, with the cell phone policies, so people issuing 12 referrals.
Yeah.
What's that been like in the past? Are referrals a common thing or?
Well, you can see the numbers.
Because I know we've changed
Yeah.
policy this year, so like,
Yeah.
how was that changed?
I did, the way we collected data, our discipline data in the past, is sometimes it's hard to parse out the exact, like, what's it? Phone,
Yeah.
So, that's a piece of data I have to dig a little bit deeper to get. I was just trying to give you a snapshot, but I can give you some more. I can say that the data that we were able to pull matched what people were saying. Like I said, if you ask them anecdotally, how's it going? Oh my gosh, it's so much better. And then when we pulled the data supported that anecdotal evidence. But again, referrals are one of those things. They're tricky because sometimes teachers have more patience. They're very, they're responsive. It's like, with a police officer, sometimes you get a ticket, sometimes you get a warning. So, yeah, so that's not necessarily the most accurate, but it does match and it says that there is a relationship there.
That was actually part of my question
Yeah.
too, because referrals has been something that's been on my mind, knowing I've had teachers tell me they've struggled with their referrals because they've tried issuing them and not had them sign off. And so my question is it actually reflective of the referrals being given, or are we withholding giving referrals in an attempt to build a relationship, which I understand is a good strategy, but like, where's the balance? And we have to be kids accountable, but still not.
Yeah, we have a really good system. So at the beginning of the year, we share out a Google form that a teacher because sometimes it's really hard for the teacher to stop what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we try to make it as seamless as possible. So in the old days, it was pen and paper and carbon copies and all that stuff to try to track it. So we try to streamline it as much as possible. So it's a Google form. It automatically gives a notification to myself and our students, Mr. Bauer. And then he's able to read that referral, and basically he gets it. A lot of times the referral is coming in at the same time that the kid's coming into the office. And since we've gone to that electronic version, I'd say I think it's teachers have. We're trying to eliminate some of the barriers for that teachers have to struggle with sometimes in classroom management. Like they don't necessarily want to stop what they're doing, so trying to make it as seamless as possible. And then there's Mr. Bauer, he gives the teacher feedback about this is what was the response, or whatever was how you dealt with it. And he's done a great job this year. And again, I would say staff have communicated as well. They very much appreciate his timeliness and his response to those, and kids actually responding very well to this.
Do you feel like that played into the biggest reason for our lower numbers this year?
I would say so, yeah. I think that there's been some good interventions to this. So, and I can't give specific data, but I will tell you that there's a small percentage of students that are in the large percentage of referrals.
Yeah.
So,
Do they split out by grade, like that 6
Yeah.
and 9?
yeah. So I could run.
So you can see, like, did a whole bunch of seniors graduate last year.
So the spreadsheet would allow me to, if I wanted to go into grade level, I could split it out by grade level. I could do all sorts of stuff. But the information we're asking in there, so.
It's hard to distill data to find actually what's really being counted.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
We worked really hard also with some professional development around the intervention in the classroom. Because a lot of times what happens is, I know when I was in the classroom, teachers have to maintain their place as being a teacher. And so when you get into that one, when you get that challenge in front of a group of people, kids trying to hold their own, the teachers trying to hold their own. So one of the interventions having teachers ask the students to step outside and just kind of lowers that relationship, so that now they're dealing with one-on-one, kids don't have to stand there on the teacher doesn't have to stand there. So just simple things like that, Mr. Donald's brought in, it's really helpful.
And do the teachers in general feel that the corrective action, I guess, is effective? Like they feel like they're being supported.
They're being supported, yeah. And on our Fridays, one of the on Friday staff meetings, we always have to do shout outs, and there's a lot of conversation about that happening. And I'm looking forward to that being, that's part of one of the questions that's on our employee experience survey. And it's an area that we've done well in the past and will continue to do well. Teachers feel like they're being supported.
Any other questions?
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, up next we have Karen with the fiscal report. Any questions?
Not much to say, it's just kind of a very OBE report heavy time. And end of the fiscal year, and then there's a bunch of legislation things that are kicking in starting on January 1st, so it's making sure we captured all of those in our systems. The fund balance looks good for the end of the year. And when Cory comes next month, she'll, go over this. But we're happy to see it be above our 5% that we wanted. And that's all I've got. Any other questions?
My only question is, so when we have the line expenses like this, so we have to ask you, right, for like names, because there was like a name, and I don't know what it is, or is this column the description? That should be where it tells us what it's for, right?
Yes.
Sometimes.
But it's also,
It's kind of cryptic.
it's because there's not a lot of room to put information in there.
So we just wanted clarification.
Yes. Yeah. In those.
Yeah, like when it just has FCS, 2201-2, and like that.
Those questions that we.
Northwest Natural Gas, it's our account number from Northwest Natural, but
Exactly.
some of
And
those
that's
are very cryptic.
Well, Emily will put in the POs and it'll have, whatever, 10 line items on it or something. And so that's what, okay, this is how I know which, to pay this, a bill with this line item.
Okay. Any other questions for Karen? Did we talk about this here also, Karen?
We can, it will be an action item, and basically it is saying the board is going to accept the Awesome Grant, which is the matching funds for our bond. And this is part of the requirement. And so we have a resolution that just says, yes, we will accept that money. So that would just need to be approved.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Karen? No? Okay. We'll just keep moving on.
That was a vivid, the lead documents.
We have new and unfinished business. First up is work session 8. I believe we're choosing between two. Right now we have January 24th set in the books, and that's a Saturday. And then there's 2 days for
a potential work session. And that would be January 7th or January 14th. So those are Wednesdays. One is the first Wednesday of the month and the other one is the second Wednesday of the month. I believe we're supposed to discuss which would work the best for the whole group.
So I actually board meetings the 21st that month, and that's late.
Did we talk about this already? I already have the 7th in my calendar and not the 14th, but I wasn't sure like where I got wrong.
I think she sent out.
She sent out both.
Okay, okay.
Because this is, I think, the work session you go over is at the conference.
Yes.
Training materials, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Was to add one in because the 24th is out in Studer, or is that the 16th? I don't know, there's so many dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 16.
I might be missing.
Yeah, I have one on the 24th showing. As a,
That's the one that's already in the calendar, that's the officials.
Yes.
I'm open to either of the Wednesdays are fine.
Same for me.
Imagine before we had cell phones. To know what's coming up in the future, right?
You have it like.
We have to schedule a trip.
Jen, do you need a motion for this?
We want when we go to make the decisions. You guys, I think, can discuss right now, right? This is new business.
Yes.
And we kind of bounce around like the steps first read or the
Sounds like right now, both dates work for me.
Yeah, either.
so the motion would probably have to be with specific.
The date.
I'm motion to choose the 7th as our date for the meeting, if that works for everyone.
Or not, do we do that now or do we wait until down to the action?
I don't think you're. Starts the first meeting.
We probably need to finish June.
Okay,
So that's the.
okay.
session date.
So we kind of have a potential, motion for an action item later on. Next up, we have, the Barbara Roberts CP, or CTEC Fire Tower. Are there, any comments, questions?
This is basically the, talk about moving it to Grand Ronald, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna have anybody come in and talk about that? Or somebody's moved to
I
the
believe
next
that.
meeting?
I think the report covers, or I thought it did.
It covers quite a bit. It'd be nice to actually talk to somebody about some of these things.
Or if for whoever out there would be nice to hear from them and see, I would love to hear what their vision is. I mean, I know it.
I know that
Nobody
Sean,
says it.
Sean had a meeting with CTGR, I think either Monday or last week possibly, regarding, he took the blueprints and all the, not the blueprints, but the. What is it?
Yeah. All of
Out there, and had a meeting, so I'm sure you guys are all in the facilities, committee, that might be something you guys can do then.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Dory wanted you guys to know what, that this
Kind of where we
is
stand.
works
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah, no, it's not an action item.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
I just want more information.
Mm-hmm.
Get more information.
Yeah, it looks nice, but I want to talk to somebody.
Yeah. So it's like if you're out in the community and someone says, oh, yeah, here, move your fire tower, and you're just like, what? So, okay. I do think something we need to think about is how we're presenting this to the community, because it is kind of a shift from our original goal. And I think that if we're not careful in how we talk about it and present it, then it's going to look like a mistrust on our part. I don't know if that's something we should discuss probably later or as we solidify plans to really change it, but just something to keep in mind.
As a former member of just the community, I didn't honestly know we had a fire tower until recently.
Yeah.
So. A lot. Yeah, well, we have a tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will get this information back to Maureen and then figure,
Yeah, we'll probably have to do like an MOU or something with the tribe when we finalize everything.
Yeah, it says the MLA would likely come to board approved in January, February, before going to tribal council first, so we want to do it, and they have to agree to it.
so maybe see if this can be added to like one of our work sessions to talk a little bit.
Unless, of course, somebody grants us like $10 million. There's still Robert's saying, go there.
Yeah. All righty, well, then we will move into action items, and the first one on our agenda is accepting, the awesome grant, which is 25-06 resolution. Is there a motion to approve the resolution 25-06?
I move to accept resolution 2506 to accept the awesome grant.
I second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will move into a vote. Jen, can you call the vote?
I'm Jeremy.
Aye.
Ruby.
Aye.
Ray.
All right, motion passes. Okay, then the audit. Here, do you want to just mention a little bit about this?
Yes, I had hoped that we would have the final audit documents so you guys could review them. And then you don't have to approve the audit, but you have to like accept it. And so we should probably table this until next month, and then hopefully we'll all have the audit documents that we can review before accepting it.
All right,
And the auditor should be here to answer questions.
perfect. Is there a motion?
I motion that we postpone.
Okay, there's a motion to postpone until the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Jeremy, second? Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move into a vote. Jen, can you call the vote?
Minnesota. I'm Jeremy.
Aye.
Ruby.
Aye. All right, motion passes. We will move on to our board calendar work session. So we've just talked about this. Now we need a motion for one or the other.
I motion to set the work session for January 7th.
All right, is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Ray. Any further discussion? No, hearing none, we'll move into a vote. Jen?
Minnesota. I'm Jeremy.
Aye.
Ruby.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, everyone. Now we will move into topics for next meeting. I know.
So if we work session and talk about the meeting January 7th, will we have then the topic will be accepting them or agreeing with it, or not agreeing with it, but accepting, yeah, at that next board meeting, that would be one of our topics for the meeting, would be accepting the audit.
And they usually do like a, basically an executive summary for the board, with the highlights and everything. And then you also get a copy of like all of the audited financial documents, so lots of really good stuff to read.
Okay, so we have the audit. Anything else you want to hear more about?
I'd love to hear about like any progress we've made in organizing I know we kind of talked about like a work beautification day for our schools a little bit. I know that's down the road, but I'm just curious what progress is being made and what things have been worked on.
Okay.
One of my old jobs, we had a cleanup day. And it was basically, you came to work, you cleaned up your space and just, dug everything out. And I think that would be a good designate the cleanup day. Or you think it would probably be like a Friday or something, when the staff still has to be here and it's like, change the set out of your office. That's a good idea, actually, working in the building too, more than outside. I'd also like to add, I'm assuming Adam's gonna be back next week. I'd love to check back with him on how field trip policies and how those right now is going. Maybe he can give us some updates on anything looked at.
Okay, we'll put a note on it, and that might be something that maybe we talk about in policy, and maybe invite him, but we'll make a note. Anything else?
Facilities, I haven't seen anything coming up, so I'd like to kind of hear.
Oh, yeah. Facility, okay, what they're working on. We had a couple, for Sean came last year, so that would be
We just have to coordinate if he's here or not, so.
good. Okay. Jeremy?
Is along the lines of facilities, they've been the architects have been touring around and lately doing a lot of stuff, so maybe you can say what kind of things they found, maybe, or any little surprises that they had noticed that they were hopeful, or, glad they found.
Great, well, thanks everyone on those, and then, next we will move into board comments. I have a few, but I will wait, so I will go this way. Jeremy?
So Monday was our, it's the second, volunteer committee, or if I missed one in that, I don't know, they're every other month. Yeah, he wasn't there Monday, so I figured I could, it was a lot of just kind of going over the charter. Just kind of, not a lot going on yet at this point, so, it was, everybody was there, it looks like they're all kind of excited and moving and stuff like that, but there's just not a lot going on that really is related to it for right now. Website, we saw some samples of things that are popping up on the website, but again, not a lot of content yet because it's there's a few pictures, I think, but more is coming, so. But they are making traction, or getting traction, moving forward on things. Yeah, it's a good group, it seems like.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Great.
For me, I just kind of like to figure out if we do a work session or just meeting, something online for emergency preparedness, security, so to see where we're at in all the schools. Just kind of touch base on that. Again, it doesn't have to be board meeting, but a session sometime.
Okay. No, and then, Holly?
I actually don't have a whole lot to say this time. I'm glad to hear from you guys at the high school. I know there's been a lot going on. I haven't done too much since our last meeting. But I do appreciate hearing the progress we're making, especially behavior, although I love to see the progress like this year. Yeah, no, I don't have one.
Okay, no worries. All right, so I have some board comments. Yamhill Early Learning is hosting a community baby shower in Sheridan. Normally it's McLean Newburgh, so I'm really thrilled that it is in our community. It'll be January 29th from 4 to 7 at the Bridge Learning Community Center. So if you know any expecting parents or newly parents, and then that's kind of vague, right? And so, but invite them to go to that event. A huge blessing to our community. And then if you are free after this meeting, the Sheridan Tree of Giving is in need of volunteers to wrap gifts. This is happening tonight at the United Methodist Church. You can start it at 6:30, so they'll go until they are done. But the more volunteers they get, the faster they will be done. And they have a lot of families that are serving this year, I think. I want to say 140, I think she said, between Sheridan, Long Island, Red Lawn. So, yeah. And then lastly, We also just wanted to share that we're sad to hear of the sudden passing of Mr. Hughes, the Willamette Middle School and High School principal. Our hearts are with the community during this time. So, and I believe that's all from me for board comments. Our next regular board meeting will be Wednesday, January 21st at 6 p.m. And then, there are a list of events. I hope to see you at one or all of the events. And then that concludes our meeting at 6:35 p.m.
Ruby, can I add an event on Sunday is the Festival Carolers are going to be singing at the Trinity Lutheran Church, Sheridan Road, /22. They're an offshoot of Festival Corral, Oregon, which is actually directed from my sister Corey, who's a Sheridan High School graduate. And so they come in their Victorian garb, and the Festival Carolers, it's like a fundraiser unit for Festival Corral, Oregon, that they come and they do it in honor of our parents, our mom and dad. Dad was on the school board for a million years. It was comfortable and uncomfortable at times. But anyway, the money that is donated on that day can be split between Fulton and Chapman. Fulton County is a high school. And then there will be cookies. I mean, very cool. Thank you, everybody.
What day is that?
It's 3:00 on Sunday.
On Sunday, okay.
Okay, well, if there is no other announcements, we are done with the meeting at 6:36 p.m. Thank you.
That was fast one.
Yes.